Separate but equal.
Yeah. With peepholes, probably. I don't know.
All them peoples.
Totally guessing.
It's like you're a kid and you're just oblivious to things that like,
who knows
you know
what
I
was
mean?
going on.
For real.
A lot.
Yeah, we were probably recorded.
Videotape.
Like, think about the people that were left in charge of us. They weren't probably much older than we were. And we were thinking like they're in charge. Because back then, I was like 12 years old babysitting kids.
Like we sit here and watch these videos of being concerned about these actors that got like groomed through their
Yes.
upbringing.
Did you watch that?
It's the Nickelodeon one
Disturbing.
tore me up, man.
Yes.
I didn't watch any of those shows.
Neither did I.
But hearing the stories and remembering those shows from being on all the commercials, and when you watch Nickelodeon
and having children yourself,
and like really was like my brother, who's like 8 years younger than me. It was almost like his era. You know, because that was right when Britney Spears and all them were kind of, in the Disney.
It was even after that.
T played music with some of those guys back in the day, in the Orlando scene and whatnot, So, yeah.
I never watched it, but I wonder what parents, like, I can laugh at movies that have jokes for the parents.
Yeah.
But that gross shit, like with Ray Romano and that pickle, like when he was doing that, knowing it was for a kid's show, like he didn't think that was fucking weird the whole time.
Are
we recording right now?
Yeah, but I want to throw this. I don't think that's bad to say. I think it's a good conversation. But I want to retort and throw it. Tell me if I'm wrong, because this is just, I haven't like shared my brain of some of this information, and I've consumed a lot. Like I've been taking a lot of P. Diddy, hip hop, taking a huge just hit in general from all of these accusations and crazy this and diddling this and this guy doing this and videos of this and
this shit with
the internet.
Diddy, I forgot about
it. Is crazy. So with all of that stuff going on, man, like I guess here's the perspective that I'm trying to like set up for what I was about to say. Us growing up, being either in camps, going to like a church camp, or going, even if it's just some summer camp that's with your school or your community, and you got somebody's dad just happens to have some secret, and
or
has very good with video equipment or something. You never know. I'm just saying the like all of the clubs, like back in the day, we were always in clubs. Like you were in like your Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. You had all of these different basketball teams, any sporting thing.
Yeah, you had to keep kids busy. They didn't have tablets.
And we're all trusting. I mean, like up in Kentucky, we left our doors on. I think my mom probably, people up there, I'm not saying it's on the air or nothing, but people up there keep their doors unlocked a lot,
I'm sure people around here do too.
It's like a different, and I think maybe with the media, which is a little bit different now, but I think all of us, like when we're sitting there looking at these actors, we don't know what's been done to us.
True.
In certain environments, because you're only privy to this stuff now because of the internet.
Oh, like you got a booger burger at McDonald's.
But we are fortunate, right? Like we are fortunate that our faults haven't been thrown onto the internet, because like our fights in high school, our negative situations, or maybe some poor moments of our own weren't recorded so easily and being able to be shared on the internet. We're very fortunate, but that doesn't mean there aren't VHS tapes that we have no idea about, like just like the old thing back in the day with the local restaurant. There's I had an aunt that had to get a call because she was on it, and it was unfortunate.
Who knows who's on that? I mean, sure, I had to have been on it. I can't tell you how many times I ate at that restaurant when I was a kid.
Yeah, man.
I was a little kid.
We weren't allowed to go there. All my friends were going there to eat, going, the guy got arrested. But like,
it took a long time to get that stigma gone. They had to change locations.
Go eat at a place that does that. You know what I mean? So you really had to kind of get out of that. And it was good food. Damn it. Don't have to go pee or poo.
I was listening.
I'll see you.
It's like
on the dark web.
I know this may or may not have anything to do with that. The way that my brain is going right now. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about it right now. Okay. We got it. Let's start the podcast.
That's 6 minutes of diddle talk. I think we need to,
Because when it comes to these conspiracies,
step away from the conspiracies.
It's like you could fact check things today. Poor Richard
I
Gere had to go how long of his life living with a certain rumor that went around about him that was never able to be.
This stuff was every day being pumped out of the news, and now all of a sudden you don't hear about Diddy stuff too much. Did the powers that be suppress the information?
Good point, because like literally I was hearing about, but I mean, maybe they didn't get any.
All right, I think you'll be able to, you'll be able to hear this. I think.
Colleen Thad, co-host and non-stop.
This is terrible as far as this isn't like cool as far as just listen though.
Staying up late, talking about life and more in the podcast game with the
boy band.
With laughter and stories, we keep it real. Every episode, we give you the deal.
How terrible is that? I couldn't let you guys hear this until we were recording.
Colleen instead of Colleen.
Thad Street's back, all right. So I did this like boy bandish, and I just said adjust the mic, make it funky. So I knew it was just going to give me the corniest thing in the world.
So cheesy.
And they did a great job. Like Tom and Dan were doing this months ago, I think.
Yeah.
And like you could do like 10 songs a day, and they were just like all over this AI generated music. I've been on ChatGPT so much, guys. I just kind of today was like, I want to find the music version of the ChatGPT that works so well, because the other ones don't work very well. And because I want to like get kind of creative and funny, because we've been listening to these, like I sent you all some links to these old, and I think I shared it in the Facebook group, the stupid little 50s, you know, I got my dick in my balls.
Saw the wonderful album covers. I did not click on it because I always have Bluetooth on in the car.
So this AI generates the metadata kind of situation that goes behind it. It puts like it creates you an album.
Oh, that's
cover.
A cool cover though.
It creates you like, I'm sure you've messed with this already. Joking around to you. No? Wait till we sit down and get to mess with this. This is going to be just like when we were doing the pictures when we were messing with ChatGPT at very first. And it does like it used to only do 30 seconds, and I guess it didn't work very well, but now they just did this upgrade, and it could do a full minute, and it does it pretty well. So like the AI of generating a song, and if you try to plug in another artist name in there, because I was trying to do this reggae song about bamboo, and I said, I want a theme or I want a vibe that has like a Bob Marley type of vibe to it. And it just immediately says, we can't do anything like that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. So I said, I just want to have like a surfy reggae chill vibe about a bamboo. And just, I was just making stuff up, and
frogs.
And it, dude, it created a pretty cool little song off of it, you know, that's kind of got a little riffy to it. But hold on here. The other one.
Adjust the mic. We're here to rock the spot. Colleen Thad, co-host and non-stop from Florida Space Coast. We're bringing the heat. Get ready to jam to the freshest beats. Staying up late, talking about life and more. In the podcast game, we're the ones to adore. With laughter and stories, we keep it real. Every episode, we give you the deal. Adjust the mic. It's time to ignite. Turn up the volume, let's party all night from the Space Coast. We're spreading the love, Colleen Thad, the podcast dream team above.
Nothing with you.
I didn't put my name in it.
You gotta do a Scott sauce.
But like, you had to do like a song with that.
Yeah.
Oh, totally, right?
God,
so
real musicians are dying, aren't you, Thad?
It's so hilarious.
I mean, I guess it's a genre like,
you know what it's doing though?
That I wouldn't be able to write in. Like, you know what I mean?
Colleen, I'll tell you what though. I think there's going to be definitely some challenges, but with like every stage in something, like when Napster first came out, that was a challenge that had to be overcome, you know, and eventually kind of will get, I think that like what Thad's doing, I think all of this stuff and the creativity of it is going to pump up the value, I think, of producers and artists as time goes, because it's going to make the people that can really do it and do it right with you know what I mean, with a real creative way, hands-on, it's going to be more valued because there's going to be less of them. Does That makes sense?
I guess.
Because this is going to weed out all the middling people that don't, that are trying to do it for a job, but they're only barely getting by. Whoever's hired those people are going to be able to now just AI generate their own content in a better, faster, more efficient way for a lot cheaper. So they're going to do that. But when you have a band that's trying to create music and trying to do something and that needs the nuances, of the software engine that, Logic and all these, big softwares bring, you're going to have somebody that's really trained in it. Mm-hmm. And I think there's going to be less and less of them because people are going to get lazy. You know what I mean? People are going to go right to the easy fix. And it'll have its moments, it'll be in the marketplace there, but they'll just be separate. There's going to be a different elements, just like there kind of always has been in a way. I mean, when electronic music came out,
Yeah.
And first when computers came out, you could just create like a beat and
just like, I'm sorry, I'm just wrapping my head around the fact that in my lifetime that this is like an actual conversation about music that we're having.
I know, right?
Like if you would have told me when I was like in my 20s that this is the kind of shit like you would be able to just have something make up a whole fucking song for you like that.
In the morning sun, I rise to the fields I roam, ember standing tall in this earth. I won't feel the rhythm of the waves crashing by the shore, surfing on the sound. I can't ask for more. The salty air breeze takes
like terrible. Like the verse is a first. Oh my god!
Why, Thad?
Wait till we have a video set up for this.
So there's
Holy
a TV
crap,
screen
what is that
behind Scott's head that
is that a
Thad can throw
what is that in the
stuff
middle?
up.
What is that in the middle with the red? Is
And
that a pink
apparently
sauce?
we're looking at
That's a surprise.
girl dolls with no head.
Oh, T.
I hope your kids don't walk in right
You almost
now.
you almost 3D generated. No, you're fine.
Why are you looking that
Almost like I
up?
fell out of my chair.
I think you meant to type in Italy, not Tantalili. And now the National Data Buoy Center. What? Oh my God.
I love it.
All right. Hey, can we change the topic? Can we talk about the Orlando Magic?
Let's get this. We haven't even started yet.
We haven't even started?
I'm just showing you all the
All right.
song real quick.
All right. Well, good.
We're ready now.
Now let's start it. Shout him out.
Good producer. Low pressure.
Name names.
Mark Cabin. Thaddeus Maximus.
Thaddeus Maximus.
Thandor. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Just the Mic podcast. This is episode 194. I am one of your hosts, Scott. Along with me is Colleen and Thad.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Might have been the best one I've done yet.
That was good. Let's move on. Let's not call attention to it.
Show's over. We're done.
The end. Bye.
Save
Orlando Magic are in the playoffs.
Program that for every episode. Oh, yeah.
Let's just get it out of the way, guys.
Okay, guys. I'm just going to start this off with some Orlando Magic.
Scott, I would like to say,
I love you both,
I'm sorry.
And I'm going to give you guys a lot of attention.
I'm
here in a
sorry.
second, but I need to gloat. We are in the playoffs. We are playing the Cavs. We start on Saturday. I think so.
You didn't even think they'd be here. You had no hope for them at the beginning of the season.
Saturday at noon. And it just, there's going to be, like, this episode is going to be probably some type of variation of the date 420. Let's just get that out of the way, too. I want to make a point, like, we might even, before we are done with this call, BJ, because I want to gloat to all the haters, everybody who's been talking trash. I'm going to go through all the old Facebook records and everybody who hated on the Magic and said they weren't going to be anything. We had a thing in our office where we had like 6 or 7 people predict the record, where the Magic going to be. What Jared is, he acts like he loves the Magic, but he likes to be so negative about them, and he always touts his Houston Rockets because he was a Rockets fan back when Hakeem Olajuwon was there and they beat the Magic. So he has this like mental hierarchy of fandom. I'm a Magic fan when it pays to be and they're playing good, and I'll cheer for them. But when they suck, I'm going to rub it in their face that the Rockets are better and won championships over their faces. You know what I mean?
Those kind of people are very annoying.
And Charlie, I'm calling you out right now too. You were hot. You were making fun of me. You won't let me talk about the Magic. All of you, fuck all y'all. We're in the playoffs. I love y'all, but we're in the playoffs. I don't think we're going to do very good. I'm not trying to be all boisterous and come in too cocky.
I'm pretty sure you just were.
But even back then, I was always saying we're an up and coming
Yes.
team. We have some good young pieces. We have the right coach now, and it's going to happen. This year really did happen, and I stayed quiet about it all year. I didn't want us to get into this play-in. I knew we were going to go in a losing streak because we had never played good against really good teams. We beat every bad team that we were supposed to beat. Like, we won all the games we were supposed to win. We weren't getting beat by teams that we weren't supposed to, couple, but everybody's due a couple a year. But with the big games that we played, when we played the Heat, the 76ers, Milwaukee, we beat them the second time. But like when we needed to beat them, and with Giannis, we are not beating them consistently. Like the Golden State came down here, we kept it close. They put it to us. They fucking taunted our fans. They talk shit, and it sucks. But like, we have such a good foundation right now. Like, I'm so excited. Playoffs are here, starting Saturday. There's also just to throw this little plug out there. The Sherwood neighborhood in Titusville, we're doing they do the neighborhood garage sale thing. Mm-hmm. So we usually get in the golf cart. Drive around and talk to the neighbors and pick through their things, get some finds, bring it back. Right. We're going to do a plant sale out there for my dad and do like a little, just have a bunch of pallets out there with plants all over it and just sit out there and just have a pop-up tent, music, food, hang out.
Can I ask you a question about the Magic?
Yep.
Sorry, the basketball playoffs. How do they work?
We're in a best of 7 series now.
So it starts off at best of 7, not like best of 5.
I'm the wrong person to explain this play-in thing because I haven't given it enough attention to. It's kind of confusing. I think it's probably really.
So it's not like they're going to play this Saturday. It's win or lose, and then they're gone. No. So they do have it's a series.
They are the.
Because I don't watch basketball. I don't know.
6th seed, so they're playing the 3rd seed Cavaliers.
Okay.
And it's a best of 7 series.
Okay.
The winner of this, then they go to, I think it's right to the final. Do you have can you pull up the playoff format?
The bracket?
Yeah, there you go. Playoff schedule. Yeah. There we go. So,
oh man, where'd it go?
There we go. That's perfect. Thank you, T. So we have right now in the play-in tournaments the Bulls and the Hawks there, and the 76ers and Heat. I don't know what happened on that top game, but I know the 76ers and Heat. I know 76ers won by 1 because Keith in our office, he's from Philly, right? So he's an Eagles fan.
Oh boy.
Oh, he's all the Philly everything. And Embiid, and Maxi's the best, And I love him. I love his energy with it all, but I love to fuck with him about it. And he'll be on the podcast on some sports related stuff in the future when we really probably in the next season get into some of these football and basketball matchups. We're going to bring a couple sports heads on here, a week or so. And
are the Lakers always good and the Celtics always good? Because it seems like they're always in the playoffs.
They got LeBron and Anthony Davis. I wouldn't say
I'm just like looking at the teams, and it's like I thought the Knicks sucked at one point, the last I heard, but they're there, so that's good because it's like friends. Knicks rule.
history of I've been watching the NBA since being up in Kentucky. It was the Chicago Bulls. It was,
Bulls all the time.
Everybody, Chicago network was on everybody's television, so everybody got to watch the Bulls play, right? And then whoever was in town, or wherever they were playing, pretty much you got to see the Bulls play, right? Bird, that whole thing. All of these years of consistently watching basketball, I always feel like there's certain teams, like LeBron's been here for 20 years now. Anthony Davis has been here for multiple years now. The older heads stop caring about the regular season. They care about trying to keep their maintenance and their health, because when you start to get into the playoffs, it's a whole different type of basketball. You're playing a very fast-paced regular season, a lot of three-point shooting, just real fast play. And in the NBA, it can get fast like that in the playoffs nowadays, but it can get real slow with half-court basketball. The intensity's tenfold. Everybody's rosters shrink where they play less players because they're playing just their best players in the maximum amount of minutes with the best possible lineups. So just the game changes. So the Lakers just getting into the playoffs with the talent of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they have a chance, with their other pieces. But it's not really going to be on LeBron and Anthony. They have to perform, but it's going to be, does their support pick up some slack and win them some games. And that's kind of what happens in the Denver Nuggets are going to be tough to beat. They play so good team basketball and they're fully healthy right now. If a big injury happens, that's where, a team really has a real chance. But the first round, anything can happen.
So who are you going for if the Magic get taken out?
Probably Indiana. I like their team and Halliburton. I like that Sakam kid, that trade they made with.
Because at this point, you're locked into the basketball season in general, so you're going to have to watch it all the way.
My cousin
through.
Shona's a big Suns fan, so I really hope they lose. My brother's a huge Lakers fan, so I don't even want them to win one game. I want the Pelicans to just,
you're that kind of if my family member liked a team, I'd kind of go for them.
Yeah, I have a staunch negativity towards.
I believe that. You put a curse in my car on fantasy football, you jerk.
I did. It worked.
Took 2 years to lift, but
it worked.
I'm the champ.
It worked. I don't like the Knicks. I don't like the Bucks. The Cavs, I kind of like some of their players. I like Donovan Mitchell. He's from Louisville. He's a Louisville product. My brother's a huge Donovan Mitchell fan, so I like certain players. I don't like Boston. Fuck Boston. Larry Bird's the only good thing to ever come out of Boston, in my opinion. My haters' opinion. The Bulls, I could care less about. Hawks, I just want DeJounte Murray maybe on my team. I hate the Heat. I don't like the 76ers. The Knicks are... No.
I can't wait for football season.
The Pacers, they've always had this a quality built team. They're, I don't know, man. It just, I like their style.
Well... I haven't even been able to watch baseball this year. That sucks because I have YouTube TV. They don't have the MLB network. Fucking love the MLB network.
If you have Apple TV, then there's a lot of baseball on there.
I mean, I have all the baseball games and stuff, but the MLB network has some of my favorite broadcasters, and they have a show called Quick Pitch, which sums up all the games from the night before to where you don't have to actually watch every fucking baseball game because that's a bit tedious, especially when you have children. It's I just want the wrap up.
So let me let's backtrack like we're doing a real intro now after we had to get through the Magic.
Oh my God.
How are y'all doing? It's been a couple weeks. We took a week off last week, which you told me was really good timing.
Yeah.
Because you got to celebrate a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Whose birthday was it?
Jim Barcase's.
I love Jim.
Jimbo.
Still see him
Jimmy Jam.
Right, Instagram. We get some liking going on back and forth there.
Yes.
I love that. I love him, man. He's awesome. And so you said he doesn't do many birthday parties, but he really had a good one. He said,
he's never celebrated before, and this year he went ahead and celebrated, and it was awesome because it was a reunion of all the old OG Playalinda people, people day one that I got hired with, and it was just cool to look around because there's not many of us left that still even keep in contact. And I don't even know, did I bring up my job last time?
Well, that's kind of what I was kind of going to set up here and say what's been going on with you.
So now that I'm back in the Playalinda family, I'm the merchandise coordinator now. So I get to work during the day while the kids are in school, and I pick up t-shirts. I pick up hats for my boss, and she designs things, and I just help her and run around. And I got to run into a good friend of Scott's who used to make t-shirts with that. Can you believe Scott used to make t-shirts?
I've never heard of this.
But listen, I was able to verify this story because Rob at Tbone, who is amazing, he's like, oh yeah, I know Scott Geyser. I used to make shirts with him, and I wanted to die. I was like, if you only knew. I even said to him, I'm like, I know that you used to make shirts with Scott because I believe we talk about it at least once a month. He brings up on the podcast how he used to make shirts with you. So I've known who you are for a very long time, sir.
Did you write that in our feed as a joke?
No, it's so funny. It's
just
true.
weird how worlds have collided because you have literally, since I've been on this podcast.
Ever, like, for as long as I can remember, if I used to print t-shirts back in the day, and just the fact that oh, you did?
Like,
and
it's like he used to run track. Like, the two things we give him shit about is he used to make shirts and he used to run track. Because when we first started this podcast, he brought it up every podcast, and Charlie and Joe would rag him.
Every time.
And so we've kept it going all these years. And so when it was just the joke was in my face.
And now
I was
it's
like,
on you now. Now you're in the print and t-shirts game.
We'd be like, now the future. I used to make shirts.
What's the new name? T, you're good at naming things. She used to be the craft beer queen, Miss Colleen. Was the intro that Charlie would use.
I don't need a funny name.
So what are you now? The t-shirt queen?
Maybe.
Colleen?
Let's just do that. We'll stick with that.
The koozie queen?
Whatever. The merch queen.
Ooh, I like that.
No, it's crazy. I've never had a job like this before where like I'm not like going in at 8:00 and leaving at 2, or like, like I'm having to come up with ideas and like do things on my own time and be like a grown up, if you will. And I'm like, oh man, like I got a real job now. I mean, I miss the tips from bartending, but Jesus, you know how great it is to like only have to deal with like somebody who's not only a friend, but somebody who is organized, professional, and good at their job.
Yeah.
Because like working with Heather is like that for me. It's like amazing how together she is and how much the company loves me. Like they welcome me back. I felt so good.
And you're kind of in this cool position to where you might not be like, slinging beers and food and whatnot and talking to the public, because you're very good at that. That's a skill set that you have. That's fantastic, and it's not everybody can do that, and to be able to work with another business that's been around, like Rob's been around here forever. They had a war trophy back in the day over behind the gate station on Garden Street there years ago.
I remember that.
Rob was in the Baldwin Shopping Plaza next to Hamilton's Upholstery and the shoe place. And then you had who you used to work with, Scott. Right there at the coffee shop. So that used to be a plaza. I worked in that plaza for a total of about 8 years of my life.
Yeah.
And so every day, just in that little network of people, seeing Felipe, I ran into somebody that worked with Felipe not long ago. God, can't remember where now, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
And now you working with Scott all this time. Me and Scott, Scott's best friends with my Uncle Gary, or they used to be back in the day.
It's like it's the coolest thing about Titusville.
The connection with T that you guys had before, and going to all the bands, going to see all the shows, and all of that, growing up. It's like, that's why I love Titusville. I'm a networking connection person, and that's so cool that you get to work with Rob now, because Rob's awesome and he's been here forever.
Yeah.
And he's gone through health things and still overcome them.
Yeah, he's like
succeeded.
He's so cool, man.
We bought a
new show.
He always took the risk when he thought it was needed at a cost. He would always take that risk, and it always worked out. Proud of him.
We had the soccer connection too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So when he found, I was like, yeah, Judge Moxley was my coach for like,
he's
my comp coach.
We used to do fantasy soccer, like when Yahoo Sports first came out with fantasy. Him and I would do fantasy soccer with all his peeps.
Yeah.
And it was super competitive.
All the connections.
We did
so
that
cool.
before football. Yeah.
Like, and that's why you need to be a good person. Like, just be a good person, because then when you make these connections, and like, it's like, thankfully, like, you have good reputation. Like, My parents have a good reputation. So it's like when you're meeting these people, it really helps out in Titusville so much because it is that kind of town where like everybody wants to help everybody and you do have to know people to succeed.
In a society where people, I hate to judge everything as a whole, but I mean, obviously there's, people are kind of walling themselves up and separating, and it's at least the noise on the internet and stuff paint the picture of us being not as close. I think we are in a different way, our communities and whatnot. I just think we hear about the bad stuff more often. We're alerted on it, more often. But your values and your connections through your community are kind of what make you who you are in a way. And you know what I mean? That's kind of that's like a social value that's hard to come by, especially when you're in need,
I cannot even tell you, like, I'm so thankful, like, because I knew I needed to do something because it was really hard during the day. Like, taking care of the kids is a very hard job. But when they're in school and nobody's sick and Brent's not traveling, it's like I was just kind of like getting lost and like, like, what am I doing? And like feeling embarrassed, like when people be like, well, what do you do? And you have to be like, oh, well, I take care of my kids. But now it's like, oh my God, like I get to do something, like, especially to work, going back to Playalinda with how much I love them. It's like, it's just cool to be at a company that I know that they trust me and value me. And like, it's just, I'm very grateful right now. Things are very good right now.
I know I'm not going to tell you this, but that same perspective of I'm watching my kids, like it's, if not more valuable, just because it's rare that can happen. It's this way because everybody's got to work and, kids are being raised by not their parents.
It's just cool to know I can do both.
Exactly.
Because like literally, like Heather was like, she knows my anxiety. She's like, there's no t-shirt emergencies. Like you can go home and like your kids are your focus and just get my stuff done. I can't believe
you went back to work after Brent's OnlyFans page blew up. So T.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
You've been entertaining people.
Yeah.
Who was visiting?
I got to chill with Ryan Oldenettle.
I totally didn't get to see him. Totally thought I was.
Yeah, everybody was busy.
Just so much chaos happened. But in the meantime of you doing that, man, you're just rocking it over there at the house, man. I was just seeing it yesterday and all the progress and the videos this morning. What you got going on?
Fixing to wrap it up and seal up the rehearsal room and control room.
I did most of the work last week. Like I buttoned up, like I was telling them, like I painted the floors.
So that's like 90%.
Of what? What are we talking about here?
Maybe
Everything.
45 minutes total for the whole thing.
Okay.
And I mean, I think that from the flooding and everything, all the repairs and getting all the studio redone and all the drywall repaired and all the, everything. It's beautiful, man. Like I'm sure he's got pictures he can show us, but it's most of it was done by me.
Wow.
Just
doesn't it feel good though? Like when you do something like that and then you look at it and you're like, I did that.
Well, I like for months been hearing about all the hard work that they've been doing. And I happen to not be busy until
That's Ryan.
Oh my God. Ryan Nunnell. Yep.
Yep. There's the studio there. Right in here.
Oh, wow.
And so all that floor, that's 45 minutes worth of elbow grease.
I hope you're going to post these online because otherwise people are not going to know what we're talking about.
Yep. It's like a big old like double bay garage kind of studio room that's been used for a band.
It looks like a CrossFit gym.
And it's an amazing space that's just in this perfect,
Yeah, look at that. Like, pretty outside.
Yeah. And
does it feel good, Thad?
It feels great. I'm psyched.
Like, that's like his, the studio, for all his music productions having to been it's been inside, in the living room. And I think just for like life purposes, like that's when you have like a place that you like to be at, where I can be at peace. I can be creative. I can create music where I'm not, interchanging with animals and your spouse.
Yeah. You need your separate spots.
You gotta, and this studio is just, going to be a stepping stone to all these other projects. And, I think we've been talking about them for so long now. It's kind of exciting to see them start coming to fruition.
Yeah.
he's got some albums that are almost done, and get to redesign the studio and really get everything thrown in there.
Yeah, we got lots of new gear,
Oh man,
well, when it's all done, I'll come and see it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because there'll be Vibe Farmer podcast, happening over there. That's going to be like in Thad's circle.
Okay.
And his people. So there's going to be all this going on. There's going to be all kinds of content that we're going to be talking about over the years. Like all of this, even when we started at Just a Mic, I mean, the whole purpose of it was to get used to talking on a microphone, to have good conversation, to network, to have fun. It wasn't ever really to make money. But, when future business things are out there, we wanted to kind of have some kind of a base to bounce off of, to understand. It's usually better when you know how to do it yourself.
You want to take a break real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Like, the best.
John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Ice fine. Hold it down for the 9899. Yeah, Too Foul can put the breakdown now. Give me that. Where's that beat at, man? Can't rock without a beat. Where that beat at, bro? Bring that beat in, man. Yeah, old school. We camouflage our b-boy existence entirely way too long. We song and dance for you hollow-headed wannabe MC Napoleons. When we controlling the whole scene underground, the sound grind you in the head. You better off dead than young kids gassing lids and saying bullshit rhymes with bullshit times. This is the real. Now as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I wait for sunsets to come to break the natural resistance. The dependent engine, the machine not to mention. You walking through the valley of divine intervention. Revolution predicted like infection, inflicted on the section. Welcome to the valley divine. Revolution predicted like infection, inflicted on the section. When shit pops off in our time, freeze the frame, let the gorillas be tamed. Set it free, break the face of the frame. Freeze the frame, let the gorillas be tamed. Set it free, set the free, set the frame. Set them free, set them free, set them free, set them free.
We're having a territorial dispute. I mean, I've wandered into your pissing ground or whatever the damn thing is, and you've taken offense with my presence, and I can understand that. I mean, I wouldn't want you people in my backyard either. This is your home, and your home is your home, and I respect that. So, if you would just back up a step or two.
I'm about to redefine what defiance is. Steam all the sciences, a war revolutionary. Scientists explore case I'm in store for second hand world order. Bottom right hand corner like De Leon, then Florida. Hold up, drink and wait. Shook a hand, took a land while they blinked to think. This white guy, he really likes me despite your infallible political propaganda. Hey yo, it's all fucking money like the Olympics in Atlanta. They can't make it, they don't deal with it. I get the government job, yeah. Now there's my fucking meal ticket, I did it. Considered it a midget. And my new mind. My new mind exercise, fully uprise, a visionary freedom. We must embrace them if we need them to lead them. See through shiny, see them and sick that I'm thinking. I walk a straight line, but now I'm motherfucker. They welcome to the Valley Divine.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
The fuck do you want?
I want to know who this is right now.
This is your dad.
Let me ask you a question. Why are you calling my girlfriend in the middle of the night?
I'm calling your girlfriend in the middle of the night?
Don't make excuses, boy. You tell me who you are.
I said I'm your motherfucking dad.
Don't deny it, boy.
Deny what?
You better tell me the truth right now.
The truth about what?
Don't even know what I'm talking about. I am so angry right now. You are getting me frustrated.
Oh, God, go ahead and fucking...
How long this been going on between you and her?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
How are you today?
Okay.
Great. This is a courtesy call regarding your wireless plan.
I'm already taken care of, thank you.
Yes, this is regarding the current line I'm calling to. There seems to be some unusual additional data charges on the account in the past week.
From what?
Well, we wanted to give you a courtesy call to make you aware of this.
Yeah?
Yeah, as of right now, there are $260 in data overages.
What?
Well, it seems like an extra 16 gigabytes were used outside of your unlimited plan.
On my computer?
You should really be more aware of how much data you're using.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and charge this to the card on file. Is that okay?
No, you're not.
Well, look, I can take an extra $10 off if we can settle this now. Just give me the word.
I don't know who the hell you are or what company you're calling from.
Great. Your final bill is $250. I'll just submit this then.
Who are you?
Oh, sorry. It's already processing.
That's okay. I'm making a call right now about this call. Thank you very much. I got your number.
So I'm totally bringing us back from break.
Right now?
Just in a weird way, just an uncombobulated way, in order just to say a shout out to, people don't say this very often, I don't think, but shout out to Parish Medical Center emergency room. We had to go there a couple times.
True story.
Last week. And
they were good to you?
Really good.
That's cool to hear.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
They
So
pulled a bug out of my
it's good to hear
earwax.
like a positive experience. They were helpful and thoughtful, and
Love to hear
you know. And then the eye center,
Garden Street.
our buddy Aaron, his eyes kind of been acting up, and he has some autoimmune stuff, and I guess the emergency room there called the eye center and was like, "Hey, check this out. Go see this guy." They don't even cover the insurance. You know, they don't take his insurance, and they still like took him when they go, "We're just going to see you the one time," you know, because it's an emergency room post thing to then advise you, you know. And the guy's like, "Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this before. This is like a textbook thing. It's like layers of being misdiagnosed a couple times, you know, just through like a quick in and out place. Oh, use these," and drops, you know, and those weren't it, you know.
No way.
And it's an in-depth thing that kind of ties in with autoimmune and Crohn's, and so there's a bigger layer in that Curtib eye place. Like, you need to go get this blood work done to get this, you know. Made him feel like $1 million. Didn't charge him.
Thank God. Wow, that's awesome. They didn't charge him? Damn. Yeah. That's kind of crazy that he had such a gnarly thing that a place like that was like, "Hey, we're going to do this and take care of you." Because like they knew it needed to get done. Thank God. Oh, Scott's all emotional.
But no,
air hugs.
You know, it's cool.
Hey man, good things happen to good people. That's karma.
Huh. Yeah.
All right. Well, now what do you want to talk about? P. Diddy? No.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning feeling like P.
Have we got to talk about it yet?
No.
Did we talk about it with
we said we was
with
going
Che?
to, but I think we brushed up on it. We didn't crack it open.
I don't even know what the newest thing is.
We
The whole
cracked
thing.
it open.
I think I threw a little conspiracy theory stuff towards it, but not like
50 Cent's loving it. Apparently, he's been calling P. Diddy out for a long time. I just was oblivious. P. Diddy's not even like in my radar. What does suck is like our class song for 1998 was "Missing You" by Puff Daddy and whatever. So that's gonna have to change now.
All these Cat Williams videos keep popping up as the most relevant, and recent.
Oh yeah, the Cat Williams.
But and this is what I guess.
Speaking of conspiracies,
like I don't know if this is real or not, or some fake thing. But supposedly Jamie Foxx has been saying something about coming out about some experiences. I don't know if that's real or not.
With Diddy?
Hearsay.
With Diddy?
I don't know.
Well, you said Cat Williams, so then I'm thinking the Illuminati crap.
Well, it's more of this. Okay.
Are we talking about Diddy or Illuminati? What are we talking about here? Or are they all tied together?
Let's back up.
No.
The Didimati.
The Didimati?
Let's back up. Colleen, what do you know about the Diddy situation? What is your understanding of what's going on?
Okay, from what I'm seeing is like, underage people, kind of like an Epstein situation.
But have we seen anything with him with?
But no, but it's been boys.
Like Bieber.
I've heard with the boys.
Bieber.
I need Audrey O'Day to say. So I need to look up what Audrey O'Day is saying right now, because you remember she was on that Making the Band show with him, and she was the only one that like he kept around. That girl's got to know what's up. Like for real.
You're saying we need to talk to the reality TV show girl that was on the
because
show for a long
she
time.
started to distance herself from him. All these people in his life that were main people started distancing themselves, and those are the ones you need to talk to, because she was a young girl going through all that, and
and a lot of the people like that have already kind of come out and talked about it, and it's just a searchable thing. But then it's once a campaign goes out, it's just a hearsay thing, unless it's a court document.
Okay, so she did. She said, "I've been trying to tell y'all for years that Sean Combs rape accusations."
That was in 23.
Like
that article.
I just don't.
And that's kind of like maybe the start of when the stuff starting to hit, but it was kind of low key. Because here's what I'm going to say:
one of his exes came out and they made her go away with money. But his other wife died.
Do you notice it keeps trying to go away?
Yeah,
and now they got a conspiracy theory about a TikTok girl.
I did see that today.
Just died.
Yeah.
But supposedly there's other issues. I have no idea.
But I thought that was because she was making fun of J-Lo.
But how is this in my daily content of consumption? How do I know this? Like, I like going on Twitter, because I like talking about my magic.
Yeah.
But I get tied up into some other stuff every once
Heather
in a while.
McDonald, the juicy scoop is where I get mine.
Out about something, Elon's arguing with somebody about something, and then you go through the rabbit hole of who that guy he's arguing with is, and you'll go fucking a totally different. I mean, it's
so
crazy.
So this goes back to what we were kind of speaking about before the podcast, where this is some shit that's blowing your mind. Because like in our generation, Diddy was like the man. He was dating J-Lo. He had it all, the white parties, all that. And then you're hearing all this stuff about Nickelodeon. It's like, what the fuck was happening when we were kids? Like now Nickelodeon, that was the generation a little bit younger than us, but we were like, well, in high school. So we're definitely oblivious because I was partying and not watching Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and us, but like when we were growing up, going to camps, doing things, I was at church camps and stuff. You don't know people's technology and through your grown up innocence, when you didn't have the internet to tell you that the cameras could even be installed in a situation. You know what I'm saying?
But
like, who knows? I'm just saying, I don't think it ever happened, but
Okay, but now doesn't all this stuff with Amanda Bynes make sense?
Oh yeah.
And like now I feel
Britney
like
Spears.
I just can't oh my God, these poor people.
Well, see, these people are just like, here's okay.
Amanda Bynes was so talented. That documentary, I had no idea because I didn't watch her show. Like, but
Did
man,
you see like the 4th or so episode on the Nickelodeon thing when that one kid started talking about how
Drake Bell yes, that was the most.
Did you know later on in life he actually got accused and now he's in trouble for doing the same thing to a young woman or girl? I don't know.
But it was
supposedly.
Yeah. But he's with somebody else now. He talks about that in the other
open
parts.
about it. It talks about
he talks about how he, kind of was doing the same.
Wait, when that episode when he was explaining that on mic,
yeah,
I was like, I couldn't stop watching.
I was shocked how much he was willing to like talk about but thank God he did because
did you notice how he was like? And I'm not slandering. I don't know. Like I'm just speculating. How he kept promoting the Dan Snyder that the other people are kind of hating on for having. So
Dan Snyder was more of a weirdo, mean guy. He wasn't. I don't think like when it came to the kids touching kids, he was not cool with that.
Okay.
Like that's.
I hope that's the.
That's the gist I got from it. But this guy was a dick and a horrible person to work for, especially as a woman.
And there are
he made two women split one man's salary. Like what?
And think about this. Successful and maybe greedy people and powerful people tend to try to exert the power that they've gained. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody, but there is a large percentage. And when you're making millions for somebody, your head's exploded. These people are looking for chances. You're their god.
Oh yeah, and he can do anything he wants.
Don't know how to handle that. With a 40-year projection of life on how it's going to come back and bite them in the you know what I mean? Like, thank you, Allie and Silas. They're our labor workers for Pop's Plants this weekend at Sherwood garage sale, plant sale.
but don't you also feel like this guy Dan Schneider was
Pops? See you later, man. We're going to do some prank. We're going to prank call you later. You won't know.
See you this weekend.
Bye.
I'd like to get by now. It's Garth, man, from Wayne's World.
Oh, no, but
party time.
But like, look at that. Dude. You know, that guy didn't have friends growing up. He probably got picked on and then he's in position of power. And like, you know how some people like they get stunted, like their maturity level gets stunted at a certain age. Like if they weren't cool in high school and then all of a sudden, like, they get an important job and they seem cool and then they thrive off of that kind of life. Like the younger, like I feel like he was living his childhood life through these teen shows and stuff. And he was totally using his power to like get whatever the fuck he wants. Can I say
this though now too? Is now that he is up there, he's doing everything possible to distance himself and like be and he's even come out and
as he should.
But like listen, I don't know. I guess he's been like hitting up, like he's been trying to suppress and pay people off and do things.
Really?
I mean, and this is just what you hear on the internet. Yeah. You don't know what's real or not. It's just all a simulation theory, probably for legal reasons.
I mean, who knows anymore? You're being for real.
It's like, what's going on?
It's just like how much more of our how much more was I oblivious to growing up?
Did you guys get to see the eclipse?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and OJ died.
Yep. OJ died. Yeah, he did.
I mean, dude, no big loss there.
Dude, did you hear about the NDAs all his family members had to sign?
Yeah.
Just coming to see him at the end. What is that all about?
I heard, but I didn't. I heard that wasn't true.
If it's not.
I heard it wasn't true.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's all over Twitter, man.
You know, the family was going through that process of, I guess they were going through that process of having to see if his brain was going to be diagnosed and looked at for CTE, you know?
Yeah.
And they're the family was like, no, just going to cremate him. Because it's almost like, well, what if there wasn't any? That just means he's a fucking psycho. And if there was, I mean, they'll try to blame it on that.
If you're he did not want any chance for DNA.
Yeah, you might be right. But
that's why you
but DNA, come on, they could get his DNA. He's been in jail. He's
I mean, all you got to do is be
get his kids.
Wear all black and you go down the chimney and you come down and you just take a little a knife scooper and scoop out a part of something as you're walking by nonchalantly. Boom, DNA. You're out of there. Nothing ever happened. Look how Epstein died in a prison with a bunch of other people right around him and nobody knows anything.
You know, there's
you know what I'm saying?
Do you believe the conspiracy theory that
I'm not
he's Khloe Kardashian's dad? OJ's Khloe's dad?
Did you see the conspiracy theory about dude, there's one about Obama's kids are some other person's?
No, I'm not getting down with that.
And they showed the other guy and the wife. It looked a lot like his. And I think it's all weird generated. I think it's all spinning stuff, but I fucking can't stop fucking looking at it.
Hey, let's think about this. Do you remember where you were with the OJ thing?
I was printing t-shirts with Rob at Tbone Designs.
You were not, because you were that wasn't when we were 13.
Was it 93 or something?
Yeah.
Going down?
Because I remember
my dad's.
I was at my biological father's house and I remember watching it there with him and my stepmom.
I was just moved here. I moved here that Christmas. So
I was 13.
That was the summer. I was probably at Fox Hollow in the apartments with probably either Luke.
But you don't remember watching it?
My dad and Kevin Hoyt and somewhere in that was they were 97, 98.
Do you remember the verdict? Do you remember where you were for that?
I was with my Uncle Gary in his apartment.
For the verdict?
His one bedroom apartment with just a bag of potatoes.
For the verdict. When they read that he was not guilty?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I was in school at Jackson in typing class. And I remember they stopped at the school and they put it on all the televisions at Titusville. And everybody's watching it. Everyone goes silent. And then I just heard eruption and cheering. And I'm like, I was a freshman. No, that's right. I was a freshman in Titusville High in typing class.
T, where were you at?
It was bizarre that there was cheering.
What date?
I remember being confused because I was like, wait, I thought he killed him.
1994 for OJ.
Chase.
For the chase.
I guess the results were in 96, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that whole thing around OJ, my memories used to be Naked Gun movies. Yep. And then he fucking destroyed it. Now I can't even watch those movies and laugh as hard as I want.
Naked Gun 33.
Because Norbert is a murderer.
Did you like Hot Shots?
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I did too.
Dude, my dad made me watch all those movies, and now it's I go back and watch them. My parents are awesome for letting me watch these as a kid.
Did you watch this stuff back in the day?
Yeah.
Was it all at the family house?
94, I think that.
How old were you in 94?
60.
If you don't mind me asking.
I can't remember. I don't know. Was I 30?
I was 14.
God, that's 30 years ago.
Well, yeah, I'm 1980. I was born.
I know. Yeah.
Are you Gen X?
June 94. I was busy with the band and busy with work.
Wait, I think we know where he is because I think there was a picture of Kelly Slater and Thad was in the background of that picture, and I believe it was 1994. So you were opening up for Kelly Slater's band in 1994.
Man. So you had a 10-year stint or so with the band? with low pressure?
Well, let's see. March
1995. There you go.
So yeah, you were just
That's funny.
with Kelly Slater performs with Tom Kern at Milk Bar downtown Jacksonville, March 4th, 1995.
This is a good segue into a conversation to get off that creepy topic. Let's talk about Kelly Slater.
Doesn't he kind of look like Kelly? He's Kelly Slater, but it also looks like your friend from California, Ryan, that was just here.
He does look like Ryan O'Neill.
Like, I kind of thought it was him at first.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
Kelly Slater didn't just surf. Hey, don't you have some Kelly Slater updates for us?
Oh, yeah, he has officially announced his retirement from the tour after.
I mean, he's
11
been winning
titles.
championships and doing it year in and year out.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, it was kind of cool because you'd always hear the story. I knew him in Cocoa Beach and New Smyrna, and
I didn't even realize he was still doing it.
And
I mean, how old is he now?
This whole area is kind of known for for his upbringing. And my stepdad or my dad Pops was good friends with like Chris Crawford, and his he lived in New Smyrna, and he used to collect comic books. And he gave me my first Punisher War Journal comic. And then I find out later, after meeting him a few times, oh, his brother's Jeff Crawford, isn't he a world champion?
He's a pipe master.
So a pipe master.
His dad taught an astronaut for a while, and he used to hit P-Land. Somebody's got some footage of Jeff Crawford ripping P-Land.
Oh, really?
Everywhere else around here, yeah.
So, like, having that like cool little connection, and we got to even get the CT the other day on a prank call, that we had to play on the air, and that was freaking awesome when the fire was down the street. Remember when I had the house fire? That's who was outside with his family, I think, or was it was somebody, and got the kind of, hey, I know T. Oh yeah, T's the man. It was like right down the street of my house at like midnight at a house fire from a lightning strike.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just kind of cool how, like, all these little connections.
Well, Thad was showing us a pitch. This started because Thad showed us a picture of Kelly Slater playing music in 1995. And then if you look in the background, there's a little picture of Thad because his band opened for him.
Yeah, that's a good picture too, man. You need to do something with that photo. You look intense, dude.
Like,
yeah, this is WECOKER on the gram.
Dude, that's so cool.
I think this is a photographer's website, but that was the first time we went out of state, and
that's really cool.
After that, we went to New York.
it's pretty amazing that Kelly Slater, the world's best surfer, came from Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, man.
Like, what?
Yeah.
A local boy, like, being the best, and the waves aren't even that great there. Like, he wasn't even surfing at Playalinda at the time. He was surfing in Cocoa Beach.
But
like,
it's consistent, and it stays warm pretty much, like warmer than, north of the Cape and whatnot. It's perfect for, like, beginners and little kids,
Yeah.
Beaches.
So that's where I learned as, like, 4th Street. I would just go there and surf. But
the north or south? The one with the big brick wall?
south. Okay. Wait, yes. Well, it's past Coconuts.
I used to go to 4th Street.
Because then there was 2nd Street, and then because 2nd Street, I didn't realize until I was older that the reason my biological dad would always take us to 2nd Street is because Coconuts was in walking distance and he could go down there and get drinks. I just thought that was the cool place, but 4th Street a little bit further down.
And when it's big north swell and it's kind of, breaking hard everywhere, like regular beach breaks, Melbourne, Smyrna, wherever, you can go up in the lee of the Cape there and kind of hide from the brunt of it. So, for a little kid, it's great.
So that's probably why he is so good, because he got to practice on.
I mean, yeah, he had like a bunch of other pieces of the pie that creates a phenomenon like that, but he definitely had it's a good starter kit here, but he was.
I didn't think about it like that.
Young. He traveled a lot.
Because I guess you do have to learn somewhere, and why are you going to learn on those big ass waves? Yeah. Because it just seems like Cocoa Beach is so, it's us. It's like, it's so like
consistent.
That's what made me better about being able to stand up on a wave. Back then, my Uncle Gary gave me a Darren Craig surfboard, 6'8", surf, big old kind of board for a kid my age back then, 14, 15, right when I turned 16, I was taking that thing, throwing it in my dad's, Ranger, and going as far down. I learned where Stewart Rocks through my Uncle Gary took me, or the behind the Sun on the Beach down there in Satellite.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those were coquina rocks.
Yeah, the reef break.
But so you had to be careful, and you had to kind of know when and where and how to handle that situation. And that was I was kind of told like a first good step for a surfer that was getting to another level or trying to get, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And then still to this day, like 2 weeks ago, I was driving down past Wild Ocean, and there's Gary in a surfboard, driving home already at like 10 in the morning. Got out there when it's sunbreak, surfed already, retired, and still doing it like he has since,
Good way to stay in shape.
When I first moved here, Yeah.
I always boogie boarded. Like, I didn't actually stand up on a surfboard until I was like probably 22 or 23. Cause like my friend had a longboard and we were able to go out, and the guy I was dating at the time was patient enough to help me. But it was like, I always boogie boarded. That was so easy and so much fun. It was like so low key.
It made me feel comfortable when I started to surf, because that's what I did a lot at first, right?
Yeah.
And Gary would take me out and we'd surf. He took me to like the shark shallows, but you just surf the regular break and they would paddle out, at New Smyrna. And we'd just go to all these places, and he would always go to Hatteras every year, and they'd rent a big house, and a whole bunch of, the old guys would go over there together and do the thing. And I think they still do kind of in a way, still do that. In a small way, go fishing, catch redfish up there off the beach.
Big time.
And then come back, full of, food and
that's the best.
Good times.
Go up there and get a $100 motel room, or maybe, and eat fish.
Gary was, I lived with him in the apartment complex. Him and my family, they had 2 apartment complexes that my grandfather owned that they built back in the day in that little Fox Hollow place on 405. And it looks like they're building a new,
I know exactly what you're talking
they're
about.
building a new apartment complex right there.
Yep.
In the middle, in the front. And my grandfather, right now, if he was still alive, I have had this conversation driving past that with him probably 1,000 times. The word comes up, they better never build right there in the middle. It's going to take all the sound from the road going back and forth. It's going to take the muffling out, and all those apartments are going to hear the sound of the road so much more. So I would love to hear.
It's gonna wreck their world for real, because I know what he's talking about. I have a friend who lived in those, and I know the little cushion that you get from those. So I can
that
hear
means
him.
a lot, because it's loud right there, and they're building on both sides, so it's just going to echo chamber that whole little area, I feel. But he in the back area, because I used to mow the common areas. That was my job as like a 16-year-old for gas money and things like that. That was my dad's job to get paid, because we had a homeowners association there kind of thing, or, some kind of owners association that paid a lawn company and stuff. And my dad had, did the lawn and paid him, and he lived there in an apartment. Gary lived in one, and they helped build them and the whole thing. All my uncles, I think, lived in it at some point, when it was getting built. And, I don't know. It was cool, man. Like I have just a nostalgia feel for that whole little area because of that. It's funny.
This weekend, what are your 420 plans?
I mean, I think I have the perfect setup for because I will be partaking, and I look forward to this. This is going to be a good time. We're going to do a plant sale out front, so we get to wake up. The pool's getting warmer. Like I jumped in the pool yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't want to jump out of the pool right away. I jumped in it today after mowing my dad's yard. Didn't want to, you know what I mean? Didn't want to get out. It feels perfect. So, I don't know. We're going to, have the kids out swimming while the golf cart out, riding around looking at everybody's garage sale stuff. And then we're going to be out there selling plants and stuff for pops and
Brent's smoking ribs.
Oh, nice.
So
Perfect.
Maybe we'll bring some by and buy some plants.
Oh yeah. And then, we got a delivery of special goodies.
Are those brownies?
Brownies.
Who made those?
Monica.
These are safe.
Yeah?
These they're nothing. These are for kid friendly.
Are you lying?
No, 100%. These are fully kid friendly.
I don't believe you.
No, I'm not serious.
No, I'll wait.
No, they're not. They're perfect.
No, they're cool.
Oh my God.
That's the kind of life I live. Are they really kid friendly though? Which means
100%. I swear. Pinky
all right.
promise.
Can I take some home with me for after dinner? Okay.
Yep. And so I'll be able to eat these. We're going to do a little cookout probably. Sell some plants outside. I'll work in the garden.
I'm going to try real hard not to go to Disney World this weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know what's the weather going to be like, T.
It's going to be hot as shit.
Hot.
I think Saturday is going to start with a light northwest wind here that probably will be cool, but I think the wind's switching around south, and if you're in the sun, it's probably going to get.
Well, I got the pop-up tent, the shade cover for it.
And you have a pool. Are you kidding? You got a pool.
Or a straw house outside.
My parents are getting a pool built, and it's like the most like wonderful looking pool. Like it's got a sun shelf, it's got a hot tub, a deep end, like this and that. And it's like,
oh heck yeah,
it should be ready in the next couple months. And I'm just like, I can't.
I would love to be in the
wait.
position to say, let's get rid of this pool that I have. I love it. It's old school. It's deep.
It's just yeah.
But just to be able to get like a pool with all the amenities
right?
I want out of it, you know,
like because now they have those sun shelves are awesome. You can lean on them and
there's
lay
so many
out
things you can
and
do.
like so much. Like my parents' house is quickly becoming like, man, it's cool all the stuff they've done now that there's no kids there to destroy it.
Right.
That's hot, right?
Damn, getting up in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's going to be warm.
Disney is not a fun place to be when it's hot.
We are getting into produce season, and
when's watermelon season?
Right now. They're starting to. We're doing our first watermelon loads down there in like Belglades, Immokalee area right now. They'll be starting to pop up into like your Madison, into your Lake Wales, into your Haines City, Central Florida, where the strawberries are going to be kicking, blueberries coming in, tomatoes, corn. Right now, it's really big down in Belglades right now. So all your Publixes and everything, you're going to start, here. The season's going to start here early because we've had really good weather.
We knew it must be coming because the Strawberry Festival was just happening in Plant City, so we had to avoid Plant City that weekend.
Like out back, my strawberries are like perked up really good and all like nice little, strawberries abundant. God. So it's
watermelon is just so good in the summer,
dude. I have had so much fun this past weekend out in the yard. Just coming home. It's not like getting dark at 6 o'clock anymore.
Yeah,
like it's the worst. That's you can get out there till 7 o'clock. Water and everything, taking care of your stuff. Everything's growing, man. It's so cool to see. These dogs are hilarious, dude. They get along so well, dude. Like Loki's been the perfect addition to these dogs. It's hilarious. You see how she was talking to you when you first came in for the attention?
Is that what she was doing?
Oh yeah, like those huskies, they use their voice a lot.
Uh-huh.
And at first she didn't use her voice very much. Like you'd hear when she's outside, she does this little calling, the husky call or whatever it is.
Like a yipe?
Yeah, and you hear it, man. It's very.
I'll have to pay more attention.
And it's them saying, hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
And man, it can get annoying. So she just wants to be next to you is all it is, and they're so good and attentive. She's the best dog, man. I was worried about having a bigger dog intertwined with the little pups, on how they'd all handle the situation. And it was a couple funny scuffles.
It's so funny, your crew of animals you have, they all look so different.
It's all weird, isn't it?
Yes, but it's perfect.
And it's been so nice out. They all sleep on the back porch on that couch.
Really?
I'll put calming dog music on TV.
Oh, I do that for Remy.
Because sometimes I will let the dogs come in the bed, sleep with us. Butters is annoying as fuck. He always wants to be right where your feet need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Little Butters
there, or his legs. He's right to where you don't. Well, if you try to push him away, he goes. Grrr, it just gives you like this little, like asshole growl. And you're like, shut up, baby.
But he's little, so kick him out of the way. I mean, that's probably what would happen because, like, Remy, he's hard to move. Like when he's in bed. If I had a little dog, that'd be easy. Like I used to do with the cats.
You know, Jelly's the one that stays on the side of the bed. We just put a pillow on the ground, and she just plops her little belly on the pillow and just snarls and grunts and.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, let's finish this up.
All right. Well, it's good to see you guys.
We've been here. It's been a while, so we've been talking like nonstop, even not
before we started recording. Yeah.
I got a little bit of that I'm going to cut up and use, but
oh my God, is it really almost 8?
Yeah. So and watermelon production.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, until they look back and you totally got T did his job.
He's got the watermelon behind you. He's been there the whole time.
I'm sitting here talking like, now let's just end the show. You know, he's like, wait, I got this up, and he's
been doing it the whole time. You've been talking about everything. He's had whatever you said behind your head. I love it, and you don't even see it, but I see it.
We got to get a video aspect of this up eventually, man. And, and that's going to be my next progression of doing this because this is super easy. My job from producing shows before to doing it the way we do now, it's night and day, easier and more fun. Really?
Yeah, I like that you're not in Egypt. You're right there.
Yeah, man. It's and man, Che last week coming in, second half of the show. You haven't met Che yet. We get into these deep discussions, man, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and I like to mess with him because he likes his values and the way things that are good, the way your upbringing and how he was raised. And I turn it into a pop, like, oh, you're just an old man, living on old time kind of thing. So we have this fun banter, and it's a lot of fun with him, man. So if you guys aren't listening to those Che podcasts, search for those. They're good. He was actually our most downloaded episode last year, the last one we did with him.
Whoa.
So it's
be ready because the next podcast you're probably gonna get a lot of Bravo talk from me. You're stifling me.
You'll keep us there. We need the proper balance because he when you listen to one of his, it's like very intelligent.
Yeah, and then you want me on, and I'm going to talk about Bravo. I'm going to talk about the Challenge, All Stars, Survivor. Yeah. I want to talk about all these things. That's all I watch.
Into Wayne's World, and we just go to a whole different direction. So it's fun.
It's our generation. How old is he?
Is he my age?
A little younger.
Gen X TikTok has taken over my phone. So like every day I just see TikToks confirming that our generation really doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Allie was trying to talk shit about our generation the other day, and I went pretty hard on her about that.
Did you tell her that we don't care?
Yeah.
One of the therapists,
though, I went hard on her.
The younger therapists at the kids' school were telling me about the thumbs up being like a fuck you thing instead of being like, hey, okay, I acknowledge what you're saying. Yeah. So when I was doing it, they would think I was being mad at them. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm literally, so then now when they write me things, like, I don't know how to respond because I'm like, well, I don't want them to think I'm saying fuck you. And then if I send a big smiley face, I don't want them to think that, like, I'm like, hey, okay. Like it's just a thumbs up. Look at your fucking
Before you know it, you're just going to be like an avatar of whatever you want to be.
God. Oh, yeah, Vanderpump. Oh, man.
Whatever your spirit animal is or your spirit show, you're just going to be an emoji of that show, just like on your TV apps.
Just so you know, on Peacock, they released the Bravo Vault, which is all these shows that were on Bravo back in the 2000s.
That guy in Top Chef.
Yep.
Oh, dude. Hey.
It's Last Chance Kitchen.
Shout out to Dune 2, the movie.
I heard it was really good. I've never seen any of those movies.
Oh my gosh. It was fantastic. Like, I watched it outside with the dogs on Tuesday night.
Is it streaming?
I pre-ordered it on my iTunes.
Oh, okay.
And so on Tuesday, I guess it released to be able to rent or buy from home, And it was dark outside. The weather was perfect. I had the sound way too loud. Probably the neighbors are pissed, probably.
Yeah, right. They were watching.
I sat there just laying on that thing out there with all the dogs surrounding me, watched that whole movie. And it was so cool. Like, the artistic CGI versus the way they shot things, like the style of the fighting. Mm-hmm. It was really different, and I liked it, man. They took something that old movies of Dune were kind of, people didn't like them. They were kind of dumb.
I didn't even know they were a thing.
But they're cult. Like, there's cult classic. To some people, it's the best thing that's ever been done, or written, so there's this perspective in the mainstream of Dune, I should say. And I didn't like the old Dune when I watched. I didn't understand it though. If I went back and watch it now, I think I'd probably like it more because I have a deeper understanding. Like I didn't read.
I feel like we're getting into like Star Wars talk, like where some people like the old Star Wars, new Star Wars.
And there's something
these newer Star Wars. The last two that came out, I'm not gonna lie. The ones with that Rey. Have you seen those ones?
I've seen a little bit about them.
Those are so good.
I'll tell you,
Kylo Ren, dude. I was crying over a villain. Like what?
I'm down like 4 or 5 apps now. I'm slowly condensing my time with the apps.
What are your top apps right now?
I have Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
I have HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I have Netflix. Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime. Pluto TV and YouTube. I'd say those are my 7.
Yeah.
YouTube TVs probably gets used the most.
YouTube TV is my number one.
I got the premium, so I don't have to have the commercials and ads and everything.
Oh no!
So I can just like rock right into to documentaries, and I get into these like.
But wait, your YouTube TV
algorithms of craziness.
But when you're watching the live TV documentaries, you don't have commercials either, or like you have to still fast forward those.
I don't go to the. I don't have YouTube TV because that's like $80 a month.
Oh, that's what I have. And I have
like
YouTube Premium.
Spectrum. That's like having Spectrum,
yes. So I have both of those.
I don't have the I used to have the TV, but I had it when it was $35 a month.
Yeah.
And then it went to like 45, and then the 55,
YouTube TV,
and then the 65, and then the 75.
The best.
And when it got to 75, I stopped. I said, I'm done. Because now I'm paying $300+ a month for cable. When I used to, when I had the Spectrum pay, before even that, old cable. I was Bright House or whatever, when it got to 140, 150 a month, we're going, okay, what the fuck?
Well,
we need to back off on some stuff here because they'd keep upselling you, and then you'd back off and then a new program would come in and Uverse would come in and say, oh, we got you a better plan, but then we're going to stick it up your, a year later.
We had to go through all that shit.
Nightmare, dude. I could have a
Yeah, I like YouTube TV. I like regular YouTube. I watch both of those a lot. Peacock. Oh my God. I love the Peacock app so much. It works well. The algorithm is great. It's got so many shows that I like.
Yeah, they're popular. They might even buy Paramount Plus.
I fucking hate Paramount Plus's app. Their app is the worst. I'm like, dude, how does CBS, who has all these shows, have the worst
I have it is I have
app?
a year, I do buy a year at once, so you just don't have to think about it every month. You know? And so I did it. And when it comes to like Hulu just went out. I was watching Shogun. I love it.
Yeah.
But my renewal for a year came up, and I'm like, no.
I'm keeping Hulu, but with commercials.
I'm not watching any of it. I don't want to watch commercials, and I don't want to overpay for one TV show.
Yeah.
So I don't need it.
We watch Disney Plus a lot in our house.
Trying to cut myself. Like I love YouTube Premium. I'll always at least have.
Yeah,
that.
you have to.
It's no matter what the topic is. I can get the cliff notes of a lot of stories and stuff.
Yes.
From long format shows.
Oh man, we could go on about this. This is the end of ours.
You could laugh. Yeah, I know, right?
I know, we're dragging.
You could laugh. I know, right? You could laugh and go fully onto your mom's house and watch funny TikToks with Tom Segura and his wife. You could go into Two Bears, One Cave. You could get into any podcast, funny Tiger Belly and all those guys are hilarious.
I'm so happy every time I watch a YouTube video and I don't have the ads because I have the premium. It just makes me so happy. I'm like, thank God, because I remember when I didn't. And I'm like, why'd I wait so long?
There's something new happening, okay? Can I ask you this? Okay. These algorithms and YouTube and watching all these shows, and then it pops up into your recommended.
Yeah.
You have to go and clear your search history every once in a while to reset everything to come get me out of this matrix. I don't want to see these things anymore, right? Like, because I'll go down, I went down to Epstein, Diddy rabbit holes, and I just didn't want to see it all anymore. I went through all, you name it.
Mine is mixed with my children's
Russia,
searches.
Is all of this stuff.
You should see my YouTube search. It's a Bravo and Disney. Yeah. That's it.
I had to separate. I had to do the family thing and then put Silas on his own YouTube in his room and his own logins.
Yeah.
And because they couldn't see what I was watching and I didn't want to see what they were watching.
Yeah. Fair. Definitely fair enough.
But there's a new trend that I'm seeing, and I think this is, I don't know if this is good. On Instagram especially, there's these little funny videos of like a person like dancing, and it's a cutout of them, and in the background it's like beautiful gardens and plants, and it's like it's springtime, right? So it's always got this like ridiculously dumb music,
okay,
like a TikTok created kind of thing, and it's like, you know, and it always has that one liner like,
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with
go
this.
into the garden and I'm only going to get one plant. And it's like this guy's dancing and they're carrying out like 1,000 plants.
That's you.
And it's like a meme that's a new way of doing it. But it makes me feel like such a grandpa by liking gardening and going, like wanting to go to like Rockland's Gardens and like get like your stuff and like you're walking out with your cart and you're all excited and you got your like little dad shorts on and you're like, you're hey dudes.
Do you ever think like, were my parents ever like this around me? And I'm like thinking they're so friggin' lame. And now here you are doing like this kind of stuff.
And now like the internet has taken this and made a mockery of us.
They've noticed you.
And so now they have these dads
You've been seen
pushing carts
with your New Balances
with this terrible background music. And it just goes, oh, this is not good for our look.
Last thing I want to say, the kids are taking back the white New Balances with the navy blue beat or, you know, on the side or the N on the side. I'm seeing younger kids wearing them, like the dad New Balances that like people made fun of.
I have a pair of retro ones.
Yeah, well,
I mowed the grass on them the other day.
I saw young, cute girls wearing them at Hollywood Studios yesterday, and I was like, they actually look cute on them.
Allie, I mean, they've been wearing the
Yes,
the
those
Converse.
are those. Those are them.
They've been still rocking the Converses from the 70s. I have the
I used to have the gray ones.
I got the ones like the black.
Jeez, all right.
My dad has those ones with the N with the circle, the gray, the Amazon ones.
Yeah.
My dad has like 3 pairs of those, dude.
Oh my God.
Those are remember the meme that has like the something starter pack?
Yes.
Like a waist satchel.
Scott, that's what I'm saying. Girls are wearing those dad sneakers now as shoes.
And you guys were talking about this, I think, before. Like when I was going to the bathroom about when you went to Disney, you said all these dads and moms are wearing
the fanny packs.
Like, or is it all the younger?
No,
kids?
it's like young. Everybody, literally all age ranges. I'm talking the 20-year-olds, the ones that are there on their class trips. Those ones have cooler ones, like name brand ones with different levels of zippers. And then there's ones that wear them over their chest. There's ones that just wear them like down their hip.
So waist satchels were cool in what the 80s?
Did you ever call it
I had
satchel?
a fanny pack, Scott. Let's not
The
get
waist
ridiculous.
satchel. There were waist satchels.
You had a Target too.
Where I was from, they were called
Listen.
waist satchels.
For real?
Yeah.
They have fanny packs that actually have seats built into them. So if you have a kid who likes to be carried around, they can sit on your hip and it's still a fanny pack. This lady in line literally showed me everything about it the other day.
I mean,
went on to
Joe
great
Rogan
detail.
wears them. Everybody, you see like all these people wearing, they're like, you could put so much stuff.
Your hands are free. And like, for me, that's everything.
I
Like,
used
so
to call
yeah,
my
I'm
friend
going to
Derek
start.
Pocket Man
care.
because like this guy, Derek, in his tiny little pockets could bring out so many things. And I'm like, a waist satchel would do you so well.
We
Derek.
have to
Like,
end this
and
podcast.
And he wouldn't wear it. But like there was a year.
If he calls it a waist satchel one more
there
time,
was a
I'm running
year-
out the
There
door.
was a year when those things like
Satchel.
if you wore like I used to have mine and I would put baseball cards in them and I would take like the plastic and I would put 10 common cards and I'd mix hockey, baseball, football, and I would all the shitty cards I did not want anymore in my collection. I was trying to upgrade my my book value cards.
So you like walked
Get
around with
rid of my
baseball
com-
cards at the ready.
So I rode the bus, and the bus was like an hour plus, you know, in between transition to transition. And,
Okay.
You know, so I had my waist satchel, and I would
Fanny
open
pack.
it up, and I had like a little folder with all my, you know, sleeves, and I would have all my good cards in there, and then I would say, hey, for that Nolan Ryan, I'll give you 10 cards in here, but I don't know if there's every once in a while I'd put like $1 Chris Sabo or a decent card, you know, in one of them, like
Oh my God.
a Jose Canseco or a McGuire. and never a Nolan Ryan or a good card.
You just said Nolan Ryan twice, though. So no,
Nolan Ryan's the best. But
I know he's awesome.
The best. But that's what I did, man. I would trade with my waist satchel.
So
I would trade
like a businessman.
Yeah, man. But then there was a time when you got to high school, like you cannot wear those anymore. Yep. And I'm like, all right, waist satchel, you got to go, man.
They're so convenient.
And we separated, and I never, it was never cool. Like all through our high school, all growing up through the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. What year did
I don't know
waist satchels get back into this?
Stop calling them that. I don't know. Whenever you started calling them waist satchels, that's probably when they went the wrong way.
I got a photo of Crane with one.
God.
He wore
it's like
one?
neon, yeah.
Yeah, Stan, Jared, and I in the first early episode of a podcast had this conversation.
Listen, you know when it went out?
They got mad at me like you're getting right now.
I guarantee you, 1993, when Nirvana's Nevermind came out, I guarantee that's when it was like, boom. Because that's when everything changed.
Yeah, you couldn't wear.
That was it.
That's when I started wearing flannels.
You couldn't wear your
unbuttoned with a white shirt underneath.
No more neon pink,
like baggier pants, and that's when the Vans started coming out, and you're starting to wear like, yeah, that's it.
What was it?
That was
all right.
Kentucky.
Boom.
That was it.
Mic drop. All right, we gotta go.
All right.
I love you. Bye.
Waist satchels.
I'd like to get by now.
Signing out.
You got me a gun rack? I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns. That would necessitate an entire rack. Get the net.
Hey, Mr. Donut Head Man, who's trying to kill you? I don't know, but he better not. I stabbed a guy once in the dead of night.
Screaming from the top of the lungs, this all ends tonight.